Hi, this is Bridget Burke. I teach life science, and I'll be teaching your child life science this year in the Magnet. This is the presentation that I give during open house or something very similar. So if you can't make it to open house, this is what you would be missing. So the first thing I usually start out with is what are the concepts that they're going to learn in life science? And these concepts, these big units are right here. They come from the national science standards. They're called the next generation science standards. So as you can see, we start small from molecules and go to an organism. We do a big unit on the human body, cells, ecosystems, and then we go back into the cell with heredity, DNA, and then we'll end the year with biological evolution. So if you want to know more about the next gen science standards, they're online, or you can take a look at our Google Classroom. I'll have a link to those there. These are the materials that your child needs for science class. A science lab book, which we'll use quite extensively, and a pen or a pencil. And this year, I'm trying to get kids to be aware of the resources on our planet and not to be wasteful. So I've challenged them to have one pencil all year long. And I've put a little piece of tape on my pencil, and this is the pencil that a student had last year. So we'll see if they have their pencil. It's just a signal to me that they're being careful with their materials, and if I can get this idea of conservation, better yet. And they also have a pencil every day. So a couple of things that are going to be different than maybe the science education that you had. This is traditional science in the past, and now science is leaning a little bit more towards this. So we are moving away from rote memorization. Most things you can look up very easily on your computer. Instead, we're really focusing more on process and investigations. So things are changing in science education. So how do I get all of these concepts across to your kid? How do I do it? Well, we have hands-on labs, demonstrations. We'll do some simulations outside. They'll make quite a few models, paper models, physical models, do some experiments. And with the experiments, we now have a really nice suite of veneer probes. And those will be really fun to use. So we've used them in the past, but now we've gotten a whole bunch more of them. The kids will do quite a bit of drawing, some note-taking. We watch videos. There's a whole bunch of multimedia stuff that we do. And I do have them read current science articles out of Science World and News LA. They will not get a textbook issued to them. However, if you want a textbook, anytime the kids can check one out of the library, and they can return it anytime they want, but you can have one at home. We do not have an online textbook. So there you go. So a couple of things that we're doing a little differently this year with life science. There's a couple community involvement pieces. The first one is we're taking a field trip to the Clear Creek Trail on the 24th. The 25th, and then on October 9th. And so you'll see a permission slip go home. So we are involved in a long-term monitoring, water quality monitoring program with them. We'll do some storm drain stenciling, and I'm hoping that the kids can do it at the new school. And even though it's not life science, there is the Fall Festival of Gems. It's the rock and mineral show at the fairgrounds. That's always fun to go to. And then we're going to do an experiment out in Dyes Inlet where we put these little plates in. So the other thing besides teaching life science and earth science, I am the advisor for the sailing and rowing club. So if your child would like to sail or row, we have some club meetings. The first one is this Friday. And they'll just be once a month on announcements, and they'll find out when the sailing and rowing club is. And then we partner with some local sailing and rowing teams to give kids experiences. It's totally free, and it's really, really fun. It's a great way to get kids on the water. So a couple suggestions for you as a parent. Number one, talk to your kid about science. Ask them for evidence. Any chance you can use that word, that's great. Encourage your kid to go outside. The salmon will be returning. If you can get to a salmon stream, that's always a fantastic opportunity to talk about science. And if you want to see what we're doing in science, check out the lab book. That's where all the notes are being taken. All the handouts get glued in there. And feel free to check Power School anytime for their grades. You can also ask your kid to open up their Chromebook, and they can show you what's going on with Google Classroom. So parent volunteer, if you want to volunteer, we are taking 2 field trips on the 25th and October 9th, and I would love to have some parents. We're walking down to the Clear Creek Trail. If you have something that you want to share with the kids, let me know. I love having guest speakers. We do a small sewing project sort of in the middle of the year, and I always love to have parents come in for that. And I suspect we're going to need some help moving into the new building. So if you want to help with that, that would be great. This is the field trip that we did last year with the now 8th graders, and it was absolutely fantastic trip. What we're trying to do is collect data before and, well, after this bridge was put in. So they've been monitoring before, and now we're going to see the impacts the bridge has made on the water quality here. That's my email address, and if anytime you want to talk to me, please email or make an appointment at the school. So I've met your child. I think we're going to have a fantastic year, and if you have any questions, please do email me. Thanks. How do I turn this?